Good morning. How are we doing? So, 3 things to do today if you are feeling a bit overwhelmed, you're busy, a bit maybe stressed and struggling to stick to a weight loss diet, which would help you lose weight if you stuck with it, but you're not quite sticking to it for whatever reason, whether that's down to the diet itself or whether you're tired, stressed, busy. And these coincide with each other for many reasons, which I'll share now. So one study, this showed that people who had to remember 7 numbers versus people who were told they had to remember 2 numbers were more than twice as likely when they were asked if they wanted a snack to choose the chocolate cake versus the fruit. So say I said, right, John, you're going to remember these 7 numbers for me. And then we said, right, Tim, you're now going to remember these 2 numbers for me. The person who was told to remember just 2 numbers would be more likely to get the fruit, and the person to remember 7 numbers was more than twice as likely to grab the chocolate cake. Now, the reason that this is significant is because when you think about life and decisions, the more decisions that we have, the more willpower we need. So we need to minimize decisions. So if you are overwhelmed, busy at the moment, you firstly got to consider, well, is it actually the right time to go on a really low calorie diet and really pound it? That's one question to ask. Number 2 is, how can I make things a little bit more simple here? How can I make fewer decisions? Do I need to bulk cook? Do I need to, just lost you then, now I'm back. So bulk cook. So rather than having to make decisions every day, can I bulk cook something? Can I have some ready meals spare, which might not be perfect, but actually make your life easier? And if you're struggling for time, feeling overwhelmed, maybe this is exactly what you need to make those decisions easier. That's number 1. Okay, so stressed, overwhelmed, make your life easier. Don't overstress it and don't overthink it either and go, oh, I can't have a ready meal, I've got to eat natural, all of these things. I can't have this food, that food. That's actually irrelevant. Actually, if you have fewer choices to make, you're probably going to make better decisions. Okay, and some of those ready meals, some of those when you bulk cook, yes, you've got to be wary sometimes about how much you're having, of course, but you'll probably end up snacking less, which is probably 500 calories there, gone. That's number 1. Number 2 is to consider how much you're training. Actually, don't train so hard. This is not relevant for everyone. If you're trying to lose weight and you're quite aggressive, you're struggling to stick to your diet, but you're really kind of stressed, busy, and you're beasting it, and then you're hungry, overcompensating, sometimes you've got to train, but not so hard. And this might be hard for a lot of people to actually do, but this could be actually impacting our ability to stick to it because of that tiredness, because of that stress. We're not managing our fatigue. And sometimes maybe we have to be honest with ourselves and go, you know what, I'm going to get a long walk in today. I'm going to go lower impact. I'm going to go at my pace today. I'm going to do more of a stretch work today. I don't mean every day. And obviously this isn't suitable for everyone, this part. So don't think if you're not training already that you're like, oh, I'm going to train it. But we don't need to be beasting it every day to lose weight. And actually this could be impacting our calorie intake and our hunger, which then means actually we'd be better off, if it was weight loss, it was our goal, actually making sure we're getting some good strength work in, some muscle strengthening work in to help body shape, bone density, all of these amazing things that we know. Make sure we get these in first. 3-4 times a week, great. And then let's focus on that calorie deficit with that. So I hope them 2 make sense so far. So how we make ourselves addicted to sugar. So it's not, believe it or not, sugar's not actually addictive. You can't be addicted to sugar, so to speak. But the research is quite clear on this. There's addictive tendencies, If we were addicted to sugar, you would see people walking out of supermarkets with bags of granulated sugar for like, what, 20p, 30p, cheap addiction, and just eating it out of the bag, like a carbs, fats. Some of them don't even give you as much of a glucose spike as a carrot. Okay, so if you're into the glucose spikes at the moment, which seems like really everywhere, if it was as simple as just minimizing glucose spikes, why don't I eat chocolate cake instead of carrots? Because carrots, or many vegetables and fruits, will raise your blood glucose in a spike more than chocolate cake. But that doesn't mean chocolate cake's going to be better for you. So these foods are combined, sugars, fats together, which obviously impact our taste buds, get them tingling, they're very moreish, they're very easy to eat. Your body rewards you a little bit for eating this tasty food with lots of calories, but they're not actually like addicted. You can't be addicted to them like that word would term. It's almost quite a take on the word that doesn't give it justice to true addictions. Okay, but what does cause us to feel like we're addicted though? Well, it's restriction. If you restrict something, look at our behaviors. If you like, and by restriction, I don't mean that you now have to have it. I just mean that we go into the point that we say, I can never have chocolate cake ever again if I want to lose weight. And versus, I'm giving myself permission to have chocolate cake if I want it, but I know the consequences. I know that if I have it, it's quite calorific and it might put me out of a deficit. It might slow my results a bit, but you know what? If I have a slice, it's okay. I'm going to enjoy it. It might slow my results, yeah, great, but I'm not going to do it every day. And if I do, well, I know that I might have to make compromises elsewhere. Can you see the difference there? Can you see the difference in between going, I can never have it? Because then what happens when we have it? We go into this all or nothing mindset, and we then create addictive tendencies like, oh my God, I've had it. I'm now going to have it all. And I'm going to completely jump off the bandwagon now. And we never fall off the bandwagon, we jump off. Remember that. So there's 3 things for you today. If you're struggling to lose weight, you're overwhelmed, struggling to stick to the diet, try these 3 things today. Make your life easier. Number 1, bulk cook, have some ready meals. Might not be perfect, but you know what? It does the job. You know, sometimes when the kids are ready, when we're busy with school run, we sometimes just have, here's a secret, just a big pot of Greek yogurt in the middle. I'd lay out a load of frozen fruit, which is the easiest thing ever. They love, I love frozen mango, cherries. It's quite well priced as well. You get big bags. Put it out in the middle. We make ourselves our own one. They love it. Sometimes I make pancakes as well if I've got time. But if not, we just chuck away that. And if you were to say, oh, you can't have fruit and yogurt to pudding for the evening meal, it's more of like a dessert. But if you actually look at the macronutrients of that, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know we had fruit and yogurt. You'd be like, oh, good protein, you know, some good carbohydrates, and looks fine. I'm not saying do this every day, but it's when you're busy, you know what? It does the job. Number 2, don't train so hard, like fatigue every time. If you're struggling to stick to it, though. And number 3, if you are feeling like you're addicted to sugar, consider your relationship with it. Is it because you're restricting it and saying I can't ever have it, when actually you could have some? You can give yourself permission to have some, but the difference is I'm choosing not to have it today because I find it easier to create a calorie deficit, or I'm choosing to have it today because I want to enjoy it. It doesn't mean I've failed. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person. That's what you want to get away from. Because actually, does a chocolate cake mean you're a bad person? No. So just remember that. Anyway, hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. Enjoy the bank holiday. I think the sun's just burning through somewhere in the world right now. Have an awesome one, and I'll see you soon.